The fact that I've managed to publish a book about money and sell tens of thousands of copies is still unbelievable to me. I'm going to be sharing my top money tips from this book, Mind Your Money, and these are the tips that I think every first-gen American needs to know. And honestly, even if you're not first-gen, it's still going to be helpful for you. So let's get into it. I got to give a huge shout out to Wise for partnering with me on this video. Thank you so much to their team because they are advocating and demanding for more transparency about fees in the financial industry. And if you're brand new to Wise, you can use my referral link in the description box below to reduce or remove the fee on your very first transfer payment, regardless of what currency you use to make that first transfer payment. Wise is the resource that I use whenever it comes to international money transfers, so it's extra special for me to get an opportunity to partner with them. I had to read dozens of books, watch so many videos, listen to hundreds of podcast episodes in order to learn everything that I know about money now. Figuring out money on your own is tough as it is, but then it's especially tough when you're the one helping your family members to manage their finances too. Without a written plan that you can actually go back to every few weeks to check if you're on track to your goals, then it's really easy to become a hot mess with your finances. You're gonna need a money plan, and this is especially true when you're starting out with organizing your finances. For years, I used a Google spreadsheet, which is just a zero-based budget spreadsheet that I put together, which I'll link in the description box. Is free in case you want it. Now, I actually have an automated system, which is the anti-budget, which I got from Paula Pant's blog, affordanything.com. I mentioned that in my book on page 156 because I love it. It's automatic and I don't really have to do anything manually anymore, which is great. But the point is that budgeting shouldn't have to be this boring chart thing or like complicated spreadsheet that you have to come back to every time. You can actually do this a lot of different ways, like cash stuffing, which is getting, more popular on TikTok now again. And especially if you can't trust yourself, this is a good option. Like you can cut away the credit cards, don't use them until you build up the discipline of cash only, and then you could go back to digital payments. You could also set up multiple accounts, like my girl Sirenis. She created the high five banking method, which explains how you could create different bank accounts and automate things so that you don't really have to, be confused about where money's going or where things should be sitting. And if you're the type of person who's always doing money from your phone, you could just use an app, which could help you budget, keeping track of all of your spending right on your phone. There's so many different ways to lose track of money, especially now more than before, between money transferring apps, credit cards or loans that you have. Now we have buy now, pay later services, which are popping up everywhere when you're shopping too. If your money is being spread out across all these different places, it's just going to be so much harder for you to keep track of it and for you to get a big picture view of whether you're making progress or not. If your family is anything like mine, then you're probably sending money to your family members that are back in your home country every week or every month, and that is called remittances. It's something that I talk about on page 21 of my book because it's something that I have been doing since I was a little girl, watching my mom and dad send money to my tios and my primos and primas back in the Dominican Republic. Adding up all the high fees and hidden costs from sending money every month is enough to infuriate you. Trust me, because it happened to me. The worst thing of all is the exchange rate markup. This is so important, okay? Because let me explain this to you. In Dominican Republic right now, if you take $1 and convert it over there, you'll receive 60 Dominican pesos. However, a lot of these slick transfer services, what they'll do is instead of doing the 1 to 60 conversion, they'll convert $1 for 58 Dominican pesos. And it doesn't seem like that's a big difference, but they pocket those pesos. And if they do that for every single transaction that they're processing, they do a little bit less so they can keep the difference. You could see how this could add up to billions of dollars. And it really creates so much profit for them from those hidden markup fees, which is so infuriating because it's money that they're taking away from the community and we need that money, okay? We could be using it for groceries, for educational costs, for living expenses, for so many different things, right? Our aunts and uncles in other countries that need it, okay? This is a serious problem and I also just don't feel like we're talking about it enough. It's not really in the media that much. It is so important that you use a service that is going to be transparent with you about the fees, especially the mid-market exchange rate, because this is how you can actually save money in the long run when you're sending money abroad a lot and very regularly. By using Wise, you can send money internationally in a fast, convenient, and affordable way that is completely transparent when it comes to the fees that you're going to pay up front, okay? They're not hiding anything. They're not lying about anything. There's no more sneaky hidden exchange rate markups. With the Wise account, you can actually hold over 40 different currencies at once in your account. And you can send money to over 160 different countries across the world in all of these different currencies. My favorite thing is that you can set up your account for free, and the Wise app is just so easy to use. I use it every single time I send money abroad, and I also have used it for business. It's super convenient. All right, so now let's talk about number 3, which is earning interest on your cash. If you have your cash growing at 0% interest every month or every year, then you gotta remember that inflation is actually making that cash that you have lose value over time. So ideally, you're gonna wanna have that cash growing in value each month or each year because you want your money to grow in value instead of staying the same or losing purchasing power over time because of inflation. With Wise, you can earn interest on your US dollar balance by opting into the Wise interest feature. And this is really awesome because if you're like me and you send money abroad to your family and you hold that money in the Wise app, you don't have to worry that it's not growing or it's not working for you in any way. Because as of November 8th, 2024, the annual percentage yield or APY for US dollar balance with the Wise app is 4.18%. And you'll be notified if that rate changes at all because the interest rate is determined by Wise's program bank. So it could change from time to time. But the good thing is, you don't have to lock up your money to get access to this interest. A lot of people think to get higher interest, you have to lock up your money or freeze it, but that's not true. You always get instant access to your money. And you also get pass-through FDIC insurance up to $250,000 through Wise's program bank. Now, this is so key because you always want to make sure that your cash is protected and insured. Finally, make time to educate yourself when it comes to the financial basics. You can listen to financial podcasts, read books. I have so many books that I've read about money, and you can follow financial creators on social media. You know, in order for you to build that confidence, first you have to really know a lot. And so you have to get your own knowledge up when it comes to money. And once you do that, you know, you're going to want to share with everybody. You're going to want to tell your family, your community, your friends. This is literally what happened to me. I learned so much about money and then I wanted to share with everybody. That's why I started making videos because I couldn't just keep it to myself. There's so much knowledge. There's so much strategy when it comes to knowing the accounts and about investing and all of these moves you can make. And that's what I love about this topic, right? Financial literacy is not just a tool that can lift you up, but also your entire family so that you can have a more secure future. Remember that if you're new to Wise, you can use my referral link in the description box below to get your very first transfer fee free or with a nice discount. And you can see all the details and those numbers when you set up your very first transfer. Let me know in the comments if any of these tips were helpful for you and if there's other tips that you want to share that I didn't mention, but you know are really helpful. Put them below. And in the description box, you can find all the links to everything I mentioned in this video and the resources that I'm offering you for free, free 99. And finally, if you don't yet have your own copy of my book, I don't know what you're waiting for. Go get your copy of Mind Your Money. You can get it at mindyourmoneybook.com. That is all I have for you in this video. Till next time, peace.